welcome to a gear demo with me and Jay. And today we are looking at the Maybury Guitars T-Type Upcycler. So, 2 months ago, I see a really interesting looking guitar on Instagram, and it was I'm trying to remember if it was either a Strat style one or one that looked like a skull. But either way, it was fascinatingly cool looking guitar, and I decided to follow the guy who was creating it, and it was somebody called Jason from Maybury Guitars, and I had a look at his website, and he had this wide range of different types of guitars, from kind of really high-end looking ES335 style guitars, hollow bodies, through to stuff a bit like this, which looks like it's been sawn out of a barn door. And I was really interested to sort of get in touch and to see what he was doing, especially when I discovered he lived about 10 minutes away from me. So we got chatting, and it turns out he was making a prototype, experimental kind of T-type guitar, but out of things he already had or that were second-hand, except for the body, which I'll explain in a second. So it was his experimental upcycled guitar, and the idea is that he's made this one, which is the upcycled one, and he's made a kind of an evil twin of it, which is much more high-end. So if we look at what we've got, we have a Japanese Stratocaster neck with a rosewood fretboard and some custom-made inlays that he's done. You have some standard kind of tuning pegs, nothing special about those. You have again, standard bridge with some compensated brass barrels. You have the wiring from a Squire Telecaster with an orange drop capacitor in there. You have unbranded pickups, so not very expensive pickups. And you have a Norwegian spruce body. Now the body is the first part of where this gets really special. So the body is a two-piece, you look at the back of that, you can see the second piece here. 2 pieces of Norwegian spruce. 2 pieces because that's what he had lying around. If you were going to get one of these made for yourself, it could be that body could be 1 piece, but this is what he had. It's about 1 centimetre thinner than a standard Telecaster, so is much lighter, but without being top heavy. And then what he's done is he's put it all together, and he's then stripped all the lacquer off and everything, and it's all been fired and burned and kind of made to look a bit gnarly, and then oiled. So there's no kind of glossy finish to this, it's just you and the wood, and that's it really. Now what that means is that you get the closest you can get to just being on the bare wood, which feels amazing. Unlike a lot of the lacquered necks that I've been playing recently, nothing sticks. Even compared to the satin neck on a standard Telecaster, this is still smoother. And like I said, it's all kind of brought together with magic and love, and then finished with a bone nut, which he's had to cut for me 3 times now because of me being a bit difficult and wanting a slightly lower action on the top fret, and then wanting a slightly higher action on the top fret, and then just wanting the standard action again, so I needed to do a new one. but he's very accommodating, so that's fine. And what you get is just a beautiful, unique instrument, and quite affordable. This kind of upcycled guitar he would sell for about £550. Now I mentioned an Evil Twin. Now the Evil Twin is a much higher spec version of this guitar, which has all the bells and whistles, you know, everything's new, handmade neck that he's done himself. I mean, literally the whole thing is built from scratch. I've watched it being built over the last few weeks. Much higher grades hardware, and that will go for kind of in the 1,000 to 1,500 mark, because there's a lot more time invested in building it. The neck takes an awful amount of time to make compared to the rest of it. So yeah, so again, a really unique instrument. Of course, what's important is what does it sound like, because look's only half of it. So we're going to start with a neck pickup. We're going through a Fender style amp with a bit of clon for some grit at the beginning. On the neck pickup, both pickups. And then the bridge. So, really smooth kind of neck pickup, really bright bridge pickup, which is going to offer an awful lot of territory on sounds. So I'm going to put a bit more gain on there, and let's put a tube screamer into the mix. Back to the neck. Both together. And bridge. And then put a bit more in, back to the neck, even put a bit of delay in there just for fun. Both together. And then bridge. Good. Turn off the gain, turn off the gain. So lots and lots of variety in here. And it sounds great. It sounds like a proper Telecaster. You know, there's no two ways about it. This sounds just like a Telecaster. In fact, to demonstrate that, okay, so that's what this one sounds like. Here I am with the Loretta, so you heard that one. Neck pickup, everything on full. Bridge pickup. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? It looks a bit like a Telecaster, which I love. It sounds a lot like a Telecaster, which I love. It's equally as playable as a Loretta. Shh, it's okay. But it has the added bonus of being totally unique. There is no other guitar on earth exactly the same as this one. And I think that's what's really interesting about when you look at smaller luthiers, that they can offer you something that is custom built to you. Now obviously this is an upcycle one, so there wasn't much customization other than the 4 nuts that he's made, or 3 nuts he's made for this one because of me. But again, even then, during the process of making it, you can always ask for extra bits and for different pickups and different controls, because at the end of the day he's making each part as he goes along. So if you wanted a set of Seymour Duncans in here, you'd pay for Seymour Duncans and he could put them in there for you, you know. If you wanted different locking tuners, then again you ask. Obviously the more you add to it, the higher the price becomes. It's not just in the upcycle guitar, there's extra bits, but that's the whole point. You're getting a guitar that you want rather than a guitar that you can have from a guitar shop. So yeah, check him out. Links are in the bottom in the description. You'll see some videos of the guitars. You'll see, if you go onto his Instagram, you'll see videos of his son trying out the guitars, because like Leo Fender, Jason doesn't actually play guitar. So demos are done by friends and his son, who plays a mean couple of licks, you know. So again, I love that part of the story. He doesn't play guitar but makes amazing guitars. Check him out. If you're interested, have a chat with him, because there's loads he can do for you. I'm sure he can make something you'll be really interested in. And until then, let me know in the description if you've bought a custom built guitar, or you have a custom built guitar, or indeed you've made yourself a guitar, and tell me what you thought about the process. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you very soon with some more gear reviews. Cheers.